guys, so I'm in the hospital. Say hi, Padre. Got my food to eat till I get there. Yeah, boy.
She's got all this food, but she's worrying about having a big baby. I don't understand that.
You know what? It's coming out today, so doesn't matter.
Did you do potato and dressing?
Yes, I did.
Where's your fork?
What up, what up, what up? No. I've arrived at the hospital. So bougie looking. I love it. Quality medical care. Oh, there's a cute little waterfall. Look at that. Labor and delivery.
Lady, don't say lady, say majority.
Hello, how you doing? I'm MBZ. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. You might as well hit that like, subscribe, you know. Thank you. But what up, you guys? So today I'm coming to you to tell you about my labor. I plan to make a YouTube vlog on it, but that just did not happen. We will go into why. Also at the end of this video, you will see what I did get of the vlog, just a little bit, just like what my room looked like, and the beginning stages, because to a point it just got like I just couldn't do it. So for those of you who are tuning in who have never been through labor, it's honestly not as bad as people think it is. And what you see on the TV with the screen and all that, that's not necessary. Let me tell you something. Labor feels like you just got to take a big old shit, okay? Like, let me tell you guys, when I was actually going through my labor, I didn't even know I was having contractions at that point because they hadn't given me Pitocin yet. And I'm gonna get into like the process in a second. But I kept asking for stool softeners. I was like, listen, I gotta go. I got IBS. Like, for some reason, I can't push this poop out of me. Just give me something. So they kept giving me stool softeners. I was on the toilet, like, you know, sometimes you gotta go back and forth to get it out. It just did not work. But anyway, so starting off, my labor was about 28 hours. And yes, I was induced. I did want to wait, you know, till my water broke, had that experience and things like that. But my son, when they gave me the ultrasound, he was 8.5 pounds 9. And I was like, oh no, we scheduling that C-section as soon as we can. Not C-section, but delivery. And that was at 39 weeks. So I get to the hospital on December 26th of 2019. You know, I'm not excited. I'm not excited, but I'm just like, okay, whatever. So we get there, we park, we check in, things like that. We get to the room. It was not as big as I thought, not as small as I thought. It was like in between. And like how they do it at Fairfax is, you know, they don't have like a labor room, then delivery, then post. No, they have your pre and deliver in one, and then you go to the post, and the post is 10 times smaller than the delivery. Thank God I didn't have a whole bunch of family up there. But I'm sorry, my nose a little trippy. But anyways, so I get to the hospital about 6 o'clock. So they check me in and everything. By the time I get settled, it's like 6:30, 6:45. You know, I'm with my dad, so I set everything up. You know, I got my speaker, so, you know, I can listen to music, blase, blase, blase. So that's when the nurse comes in, and that's when they hook everything up. So they gave me an IV in my hand, which by the way hurts so much. And after they give the IV, they give you fluids and things like that. You know, you put on your hospital gown. And because I was being induced, so the Pitocin they don't actually give you at first. At first they gave me, I'm not sure what it was, but it was this tablet that they cut into 4 pieces. So you take the tablet, and what the tablet does is it's supposed to soften your cervix. I actually got, I actually have it right here. You're gonna edit that out. But I got the evening primrose oil. Because, you know, they say if you take it and, you know, shove it up there, it softens your cervix. So I took maybe like 1 or 2. I'm not really the best when it comes to taking my pills. And I had planned to, you know, stick it up my vagina, you know, to soften my cervix and stuff. But yeah, I tried to shove one up there and yeah. So as you see, this bottle is full. Anyways, so they give you that pill to basically soften your cervix to get you ready for contractions, I'm assuming. So what they don't tell you is that it'll start your contractions. So that's why the whole time when I thought I had to take a shit, it was because I had to take a shit. Nah, that was not the case at all. I actually was having contractions. And you know, they put this thing around your belly. They put one like right here and then one like right here. I'll show you guys a video what it looks like. And it basically monitors your baby's heartbeat, and it somehow monitors your contractions. So as we're like going through that process, you know, like I'm having contractions, they gradually get worse. I'm not aware that they're contractions. I feel like I take shit. So I continually take the, you know, the tablets every maybe like 4 hours, I think. Yeah, no, every 3 hours, because it was 4 and it takes up to 12 hours. So when I was in the hospital, they only checked to see if I was dilated 3 times. One, when I first got there, another one around like 1 or 2 a.m. And then they didn't check me for like a full 24 hours until I was in labor, like actual labor. Yeah. Anyways, so, you know, I'm trying to sleep and everything, and I'm gonna upload this video. Could not sleep. I have my parents with me, because I am a single mom. Father's not involved. So my support system really comes through my family, and both my parents knocked. I mean, knocked. And I don't know how you supposed to sleep with that. So, you know, and it's funny because every time I moved or got up, people like, Amber, you okay? You okay? Like, yeah, I'm okay. You're snoring just a little bit. But it's whatever, you know, I love my parents. I love them, and I'm so thankful that they were there for me through that experience. So it was just whatever. So I didn't really get a lot of sleep. And the pain the first day was not that bad. So probably from like 6 a.m. to the next following, 6 p.m. to the next following day, it wasn't that bad until probably like noon, for real. So I was the type of person, I wanted to wait wait as long as I could to get my epidural, because, you know, I've heard a lot of things that if you get it too early, you won't feel it when the baby comes, and we was not having that. Apparently that's not the case. When I told the nurse that's why I was waiting to get epidural, she's like, honey, it's not true. So the whole time I didn't have to feel like I had shit. I could have just been all right. So basically, the contractions got like really bad, and I was like, okay, it's epidural time. Like, I'm over this. I just whatever, like. And my thing is, I think I'm having contractions and I'm constipated. So I'm just over the whole thing. Like, I can't go to the bathroom, having contractions, which is a lot for me. So basically what happened is I wanted the epidural. So they bring the doctor who is to do the epidural, and they ask me certain questions. And y'all, if I would have known this, I would have been like, I wouldn't have been honest at all. So I actually had a seizure a couple of years ago. To this day, I don't know why I had a seizure. I was not in the right mindset to go to the hospital. So I had decided, you know, not to go to the hospital after having a seizure. And I know some of y'all probably gonna comment that was dumb, but I honestly felt fine. So I just didn't do it. If you see, right here, I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can tell. My tooth actually chipped from when I fell down for my seizure. But anyway, they go through preliminary questions, and one of them is had a seizure. So I let him know that, and that's when he was like, oh. And I was like, I get my epidural. So apparently, you know, I had like some other things like going on, like blurry vision, you know, tingliness in my legs and things like that. And I'm thinking it's just my pregnancy symptoms. And he was like, no, like that could be associated to why you had a seizure and da da da. So what I really appreciated about this doctor is he actually really cared. He was my best part of my labor experience. And so he wanted me to get him an MRI. And, you know, I went into like Derek Shepard, who didn't get a CT. So I was like, you know what? Good. Because I knew I eventually didn't need to go to a neurologist. So, you know, hospitals take forever. So it took them forever for them to calm me down to an MRI. But because, you know, I was in labor, it was sped up a little bit. And the doctor was really helping with the process. So I get down to the MRI machine. And MRI is 10 times different than CT. It's 10 times different than X-ray, ultrasound. That joint is not it. So I came out blue as a baby, got stuck in my mama's room. Ever since then, being in tight trap spaces is just not for your girl. So the MRI, because I was pregnant, y'all listen to this. So they put me on the little one like machine to lay down, and you know they had blankets on me so I wouldn't get cold. But that's what I thought. No, they put those blankets on me and then taped over them so I could not move. Had sunglasses on and I had earplugs, and I'm like freaking out. I'm telling myself, because I'm the type of person, mind over matter. I'm like, okay, Amber, you got this. You can do this. You was good, baby. You was good. Yes, you got this. Like, just like pamper. Like, I literally was at this one point. I am a G. It got to the point where I had to put the earplugs in. It was just, and you hear the noise of MRI. At this point, I was like, Jesus. I was just, yeah. So I was like, sir, is there any way that you can untape me? And he was like, see, because you're in labor, we can't take that risk. You have to be very still. And I was like, I promise you that I can be still. So he untaped my arms. He kept my legs closed in tapes. But he untaped my arms so I could feel a little free. And I was like, okay, I think I can do it. And that wasn't the case. And I think the thing that was really getting me was the earplugs, because if I can't see, that's fine, but not being able to hear, having that compressed hearing, it was just getting to me. And at this point, like, I'm about to cry. Like, I just can't do it. I like asked, can I take the earplugs out? Like, I'll be fine if I can take the earplugs out. You know what he said? Unless you want to be deaf, I don't think you want to do that. And he was a little rude. So at this point, like, I'm just overwhelmed. I don't like feeling trapped. So I didn't end up getting the MRI. I'm like literally like sobbing. And through my whole pregnancy, I really didn't experience hormones on like that crazy scale. But I definitely, like, I was like uncontrollably crying. I could not stop crying. I get back to my room and I asked like my family, the nurses, to leave because I just needed a second just to sob. Like, I was just so scared, and my anxiety with just having that MRI, and you know, like, also because, you know, I'm going through my mind, you know, this whole time I didn't go to the doctor when I had a seizure. If I had doing that when I did, you know, I wouldn't be going through this. You know, what if I'm not fine? What if I've endangered my baby to something? And then the other part is thinking about me, oh my goodness, if I can't get an MRI, I can't get an epidural. And you know, through my pregnancy, I was like going through a lot. And you know, having my son, it's not that I didn't want him, because I love my son with all my heart, but I just felt some type of way towards having a child when it came to labor. Like, if they could have just transferred him out of me, I would have been good. And the epidural was the way for like my peace of mind. So I'm like, I can't do the MRI. I can't get an epidural. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't have this baby. I can't have a C-section. And there was like a risk for me getting a C-section and everything. So it was just so much. It was so overwhelming. Luckily, thank the Lord. Like, shout out, glory to that doctor. Because even though I was not able to get that MRI, y'all, he let excuse my bun. I just got interrupted here. I'm gonna just fix that a little bit on camera. I don't even care. I went grocery shopping earlier, and that joint got caught on a branch, and it got messed up. I never actually fixed it. But anyways, so he let me get the epidural. Well, first he had a neurologist come in and examine me to make sure like it was okay, because he told me like without the MRI he wouldn't give me the epidural. But the neurologist, I passed the test, the preliminary test, and like they gave me the epidural. The epidural really wasn't that bad. It's uncomfortable, but it really doesn't hurt. You feel like a pinch, and then like once like the fluid goes in there or something, it feels just, I don't know, it's just uncomfortable. So then once I got the epidural, y'all, I was good. You know, I couldn't feel it. You know, I couldn't, the need to have, like, have the shit, nothing. I was good to go. So, at this point, you know, I'm just cooling, you know, I'm with my fan, waiting for baby boy to get here. And basically what happened was, after I got the epidural, right before I got the epidural, the doctor had came in to basically discuss my plan for birth, which I was really excited about. But because I hadn't got an epidural, he was like, I'm gonna come back. I don't know if you can see me. Look a little rough, but I got my boo. Y'all, I was so excited about these popsicles. The flavors taste like medicine. What was that called? The Motrin? Was it Motrin? That came in grape flavor? That's exactly. I'm still eat it though.
It's not good.
It's not at all.
Probably tastes better than cherry. No?
You're lucky y'all raised me not to waste food.
Right down to 7.
When you use your phone to record and don't put on do not disturb. But anyways, so y'all, the doctor never came back. You heard me? Well, he did when he came to deliver my baby, but he disappeared. So once I got my epidural, you know, we trying to get to the Pitocin. And y'all, I didn't get that to Pitocin. They had to okay it with the doctor, and they were paging him. He wasn't answering his pages. So, mind you, my labor did not have to be 28 hours. Could have been, at this point, you know, it could have been 12. I was trying to have him before 6, so it wouldn't at least be a 24-hour labor. He didn't come until 10 or 11, I think. Who knows? I was halfway past that. So, but because I had the epidural, and I'm not feeling nothing, shoot, I'm good to go. So eventually the doctor replies after hours waiting. By this time, it is probably about 7:30 p.m. 8. They gave me the Pitocin. Yes, whole 24 hours before I got the Pitocin. Yay, freaking me. So they gave me the Pitocin, and once they gave me that Pitocin, y'all, from then on, it was pretty quick. No, I had my baby boy at 10 something. Because I started pushing around 9. So about like 7:38, they gave me the Pitocin. So it only took less than 2 hours to work. But mind you, like I told you guys in the beginning, they didn't check me to see how dilated I was. So during that time, the whole epidural, waiting for the doctor to reply, Pitocin, I never knew how many centimeters I was. When they had checked me when I first came in, I was, of course, 0. When they checked me again at 1, I was like half a centimeter. So I don't know how long my process took really to dilate and get to that, 10 centimeters. So they gave me the Pitocin. At this point, I'm good to go. They give you there's a button, and you press the button, and it gives you more drugs, so you don't feel anything. So I was pressing that little fentanyl button like it was candy. No, well, that don't make sense. Push it. I don't know a reference, so I'm gonna just say I was pushing it to the limit, okay? So I kept pushing it, everything was good, and then they want you to lay on your side and continue switching your side, so I guess that the medicine works thoroughly throughout both sides. And so it got to a point where like my side was really, really hurting. And I kept pressing a button, and it kind of helped, but not really. And the pain just got worse and worse and worse. And it wasn't like my pelvis, it was like my hip bone, and it hurts like so bad. And I have a very high pain tolerance, which is why like me being in labor really was nothing. I'm about to just take out this button in front of y'all because it's looking like crazy. Anyways, so at this point, like, I'm just really uncomfortable, like, about to cry. So I asked them to, like, check me. They check me, and they're like, oh, she's +1, -1, +2, something like that. I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 + 2 = 4. Who knows? But basically, it was time for me to push. Now, this I really was not looking forward to. But, like, the pain in my hip was so bad. So I was like, okay, let's get ready. So they like put me in the position, and what you have to do, I'm not about to do it, but basically you push your legs up and you have to hold them back and you basically push. Now what pushing feels like, it's funny. This lady told me, push through your vagina, not your butthole. And that's something that kept going through my mind when I was pushing this. Push through your vagina, I'm gonna push through your vagina. But when you got the epidural, you really don't know the difference. So I was pushing and hoping it was through my vagina, and my mind said it was. So, I was pushing. It was okay. But then that pain in my hip bone kept getting worse and worse and worse. And what happened is he was a big baby. So he had like got caught underneath my hip bone. So them contractions hurt, y'all. Like the pushing did not hurt, but that hip bone pain was terrible. And not only that is, I guess I was losing oxygen or whatever. So they had to oxygenate me, and I had to, between each push, I had to breathe it in, But not also that, y'all. Like, it's getting to the point where I was like, how long do people like usually push for? They're like, average like 3 to 4 hours. And I rebuked that in the name of Jesus. It took me an hour and a half to pump out my son, okay? So I'm pushing, y'all, in like terrible pain with this hip bone. I'm going like, and then, y'all, I started throwing up. Like, they had to get me a bag. It was just like the most dramatic labor you could think of. Like, I'm in pain, I'm pushing, I gotta breathe in the oxygen, then I gotta throw up, then I gotta push again. And what I like is when it comes to pushing, they really let you be in control of it. But y'all, I can't even be controlled. Usually when you start pushing, your contractions are maybe 2-3 minutes apart. Mine was seconds apart, because mind you, like, they just, like, my labor was just terrible. Like, the doctor didn't check to see how dilated I was. I was so like far into pushing, like, I don't even know. So basically, y'all, I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And I'm not a vain person, but the one thing I didn't want is a bald baby. I wanted my baby to come out with a lot of hair. So my mom was in the room. So was my dad. My dad's like, he don't want to see nothing. He just wants to cut the cord, get out of there. So my mom, I was like, do you see any hair? Do you see hair? And the baby's up. Look at that. Look at all your curls coming in, Tutti. Oh. So basically, y'all, through all the throw up, having the 28 hours of labor, the doctor being late, and the throwing up and being caught underneath my hip bone. As soon as he came out, the hip bone pain relieved. The doctor came in enough time. And I pushed out a healthy 9 pounds, 4 ounces, 20.5 inches baby boy. Right now, Casyn is, he's about 9 weeks. It took me like a while to really get situated and everything else. But this is my baby boy. His name is Casyn DeVay. Not gonna tell y'all my last name, but Casyn means gift of God, and DeVay means part of the Lord. And my faith is really important to me, so I really wanted his name to have meaning, but also have a biblical meaning of what he is. So if you'll see my little chunky, my little chunky with his little mustaches, yeah, this is Casyn DeVay. And I hope you guys, I tried to give it to you. Okay. He loves food. But I hope you guys liked my video. Like, comment, subscribe. I got a lot of things coming to you guys pretty soon. Now that me and him have a routine, everything's on schedule, we are good to go. All right, you'll see, once he has food, he's good to go. And I'm pretty sure that's everything I mentioned in the video. We got to eat popsicles, lots of them. I really only recommend the orange. The grape and the cherry taste like medicine popsicles. I would definitely make a video about postpartum, like what you go through, not when you get home, but right after labor and things like that. So like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl BZ, and as I get more comfortable on camera, you guys will see my personality. Go slow down. You guys will see my personality a lot more, and hopefully Casyn's as well. He's probably not gonna like this, but say bye. Say bye. Yeah, okay. Never take a baby away from his food. All right, y'all.